ओके, एक बार हम भी चेक कर लेते हैं अपने इसमें if we are connected. So YouTube पर I can't see if we are live. Let's quickly check this.
Yeah.
हाँ, अभी connected हैं now. Yes, we are connected. Hi everyone, good afternoon everyone, all my dear students. I welcome all of you to this enchanting, this wonderful session that I'm looking forward to. I've been looking forward to, and look who is here sharing the screen with me. Rachit, I welcome you to this. With me, I have CS Rachit Dhingra, और आप सभी जानते हैं रचित सर से आप मिल चुके हैं, पहले भी आपने उनको YouTube पर कई बार देखा है, आप में से कई स्टूडेंट शायद कुछ जानते भी होंगे. And it's actually our privilege, it's our pleasure to welcome him, and I'm glad that he found some time to speak with all of us. स्टूडेंट्स को टाइम टाइम पर गाइडेंस मिलते रहना बहुत जरूरी है, एंड रचित ने अग्री किया कि यस ये इंपॉर्टेंट है मैम, एंड आई विल बी प्रेजेंट. सो फॉर दैट I'm grateful to you, Rachit, on behalf of all my students and everyone who is going to be watching and benefiting from this session.
Thank you so much for the extreme warm welcome, ma'am. It's always a pleasure to share the screen with you and teach students or tell about my journey and about how CS is working. How does everything work in our field to all these lovely students. I generally keep interacting with students on different platforms, be it YouTube, be it face-to-face, be it over Unacademy. So it's always a welcome approach from students, and I always feel pleasure to join you and share the screen with you.
So sweet. Thank you so much, Rachit. And certainly, I think this is going to be a very interactive session. Along with that, we commit to providing students with a lot of inputs, insights, जो उनको अपने career journey में help कर सके और उनकी मदद कर सके. So, Rachit, let's quickly begin with your journey. मतलब students बहुत look forward करते हैं ऐसे interactions को जहां उनको direct input मिले कि somebody from the profession, somebody who's so young, dynamic and enchanting like you. So they look forward to, they idolize such personalities. तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा अगर आप अपनी जर्नी की शुरुआत से हम इस डिस्कशन की शुरुआत करें.
So I think I had a very interesting journey altogether. I find it interesting. I started I think a lot of students might know, and a lot of people, I think this journey is only known to certain people who are close to me. So yeah, I started quite early in life. So even prior to becoming a CS or prior to completing my CS, I was working with Wipro. And then while working with Wipro, I was studying for my CS part. And then there came a stage when I was at a very good career path at Wipro, and I was growing at Wipro. But then I found that, okay, whether I had this question, I had cleared my CS by CS executive by that time. I was in professional, but the call that I had to take, the hard call I would say that I had to take, was whether to continue with my journey at Wipro, which was a growing journey altogether, or to fall down and start my internship. Back at that time, we used to get like 2,500 rupees for internship. Honestly, I was earning quite well at that point of time. So I had to take that hard call that, okay, let's leave my job, let's leave my career, and then I want to pursue my career in CS. So that was I think one of the hard call that I had to take at that point of time, that, okay, where to go, which part to go, because at Wipro, the department, the area which I was working with, all the people used to say that, okay, I am the youngest one who has reached this stage and in this field, because all those who I used to work with, they used to be elder and doing amazing work. The kind of work we were doing there was crazy. But then I took the hard call that, okay, nahin, I would love to complete my internship. And I came back from there. I started doing my internship, which obviously took a couple of years. And then I was preparing for my professional exams along with that. So I think one hard stop was that for me.
नहीं रचित, होता है आपने जो कहा अभी, you know what happens as a student counselor. I've directly worked with students and I've counseled a number of thousands of students so far. तो ये बहुत बच्चे लेकर के आते हैं. मतलब now you are established professional, so you can certainly, talk about this as a story and it's something like a sneak peek to your own journey. लेकिन ऐसे students ये practical call लेकर के आते हैं because money is an important criteria and some
Exactly.
inflow that is going to suddenly stop, and now you have to take a call whether I should go ahead, pursue and finish my course, or I should continue with this like monthly money that is flowing in. So that is
Right.
certainly a difficult one. लेकिन ये सबको ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि जो growth है इसके बाद जो मिली होगी, certainly that there is where you would have taken a leap, isn't it?
Absolutely. If I have to be honest, like you said, money path. So probably the amount of money that I was making in a month, I made in my entire internship.
Right.
So for 2 years. So 2 years and 1 month was equivalent. And I still remember that I had my exit interview with my HR with Wipro. So she asked me that, okay, why are you leaving? You're doing good. Everything is fine. I said, okay, see, I am here. I want to be here. So how can you help me? And she was speechless. She said, okay, I don't have an answer to this. You have a clear path in front of you. If you're pursuing a professional journey, there's little that we can help you out with. All that we can say is all the best for your professional endeavors. So that is the hard path, as you mentioned, that being a student counselor, a lot of students might come to you and might have the same question in their mind that, okay, which path to choose? Because initially, when we start with a career and when we go in internship, even today, I feel that, okay, a lot of students comes to me and then, okay, sir, internship mein itna hi milega kya? So we are like,
they start actually expecting salary की तरह वो expect करते हैं, जबकि बेटा वो salary नहीं होती. It is basically a stipend which is there just to support your endeavors towards your studies and towards the next level of accomplishment that is soon going to come true for you. तो ये Rachit, एक और बात, as a young CS, I would like to know, देखो students, अब हम वहां जाते हैं जहां से students अपनी journey शुरू करते हैं, which is mostly +2 students, and after +2 when they take up their CSEET or say CS foundation पहले हुआ करता था. So what do you have for that section of audience? जैसे अब कॉमर्स वाले बच्चे हैं, so कॉमर्स में ज्यादातर भाई स्कोप जो होता है वैसे तो बहुत वाइड है, लेकिन जो फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस होता है वो CA, CS, CA में ये कोर्सेज का ही होता है. So what do you want to show them from CS perspective? What's in there in this course for them? Why should they choose CS as their career?
I think for students, it's extremely important to understand what they want in their life, how they want to grow in their life. See, if you love law, if you have that inner fire for law, that okay, how does this thing happen? How is law being framed? How are compliances being done? Then I think CS is the right path. And being a company secretary, it's not that. I think a lot of misconceptions are there with people. A lot of people might tell you, okay, it's just that you'll become this, you'll become that. But a lot of things need to be cleared when you are pursuing a company secretary course. I think out of all the professions, CA, CS, CW, obviously all of them are good. None of them is bad. None of the profession is bad. If you're earning money, if you're growing in your life, I think none of the profession is bad. So, but when we talk about CS, it's an extremely important profession, I would say. In today's world, when compliances are growing, when economy is growing,
absolutely,
I think it is important that we understand why CS is important, why a professional is important. It is you who are going to complete your studies for obviously good 4 years, 5 years. You're going to put in that time, which is the most important time of your life in studies. You're going to miss festivals, you're going to miss birthdays, you're going to miss parties. Why? Because you're studying at home. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're going to become a compliance professional. And it's not only about our country. Be it any country, any place that you are in, entire thing works on compliances. And I always think about one thing, that a lot of people say, okay, it's a cost. CS is a cost. That a company think that, okay, compliance is a cost to them. That obeying a law, putting the CS in picture, doing these things is a cost. Then I always say that compliance is cost. I agree. Try non-compliance.
Try non-compliance, absolutely. You would know what cost is, what cost truly means. एब्सोल्युटली। और एक
Right.
चीज बहुत अच्छी है जो सबको शायद बच्चों को पता हो या ना भी पता हो, देखो भाई, आई एम अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, ठीक है, मैं फिर भी ये चीज बोलती हूँ, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट डेजिग्नेशन नहीं होता, ना कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट डेजिग्नेशन होता है, बट अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी is a renowned designation when it comes to compliance for a particular section of the companies, or in fact a major section of the companies. तो ये एक अपने आप में डेजिग्नेशन है भाई कि मैनेजमेंट प्रोफेशनल होता है, और इसके अलावा बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं जो बिना कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के मूव नहीं करेंगी विद इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो सर्टेनली जितना अच्छा ये दिख रहा है उतना ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल और चैलेंजिंग पोजीशन भी होती है. सो नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू दैट, Rachit, how do you think you were as a student जब वो लाइफ थी पहले वाली, and how do you think you have transformed over a period of say that 3, 4, 5 years of your studies from a naive student to a mature young professional?
I think it's a journey that you go through. Even today, when I meet students for internship now, I tell them one thing: see, you're not here just to learn the compliances. You are about to go through a transformation. This is the first time when probably you're going to enter a corporate world. So the institute, our loving institute ICSI, has prescribed a set time period for training, for internship. Why, let's say for today, for example, today the internship period is 21 months. So why do you think 21 months? You might think, sir, 21 months is a extremely big time, and I will be able to learn all these things in, let's say, 6 months. You might, but what about the transformation that you have to go through? And if you ask about me, starting from the day when you start studying, I think your concentration improves. You need to put in that, you know that, okay, you need to put in those extra hours for study when you are going to complete CS. And since it's about various laws or a plethora of laws and not about one single Companies Act, a lot of students might feel that CS means Companies Act. No, CS does not only mean Companies Act. Companies Act is just a small part, but it obviously depends on you as a person, that you want to do practice, you want to be in employment and work only for Companies Act, or you want to work for a plethora of laws. There is the whole field in front of you that you want to do. And when you talk about the transformation journey, you learn a lot of things from right when you start, or right from you when you enrolled as a student, then moving to your internship, and then finally becoming qualified professional or getting your membership. Getting your membership and going to that convocation gives you that extreme confidence that, okay, now I am a professional, and now I'm all ready to rock the world and to go out on the field. But yeah, that will take like 4 years, 5 years, and those 5 years, I can say, that will transform you completely. It's
Rachit,
that
I've seen
really.
the transformation. And just to add a little to what you were saying, what you're elaborating for all of us, I've seen the transformation in my students who qualify CSEET, and the moment they enter EXE, they appear to be better individuals, refined students, more refined, more sophisticated in their approach towards studies, more disciplined. तो आप सोच करके देखोगे सिर्फ CSEET से या जो फाउंडेशन लेवल से एग्जी की जर्नी अगर आपको इतना चेंज कर सकती है, सो व्हाट वंस यू क्वालिफाई एंड यू बिकम अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी. कोई भी जो आपका कोई भी प्रोफेशन होता है ना, वो एक गेटवे प्रोवाइड करता है. इट इज ऑलवेज अ गेटवे. What next is always your call. But you want to be in employment, or you want to take up an entrepreneurial journey, or you want to be in practice, or what you want to do. This is ultimately your call. But what this entire transformation, what it provides you is an asset for life. आपके अंदर डिसिप्लिन फैक्टर इनकलकेट कर देता है, आपके अंदर एंड्योरेंस इनकलकेट कर देता है, आपके अंदर एक डिटर्मिनेशन, रिसोल्यूशन, जो रिसोल्यूट होने की जो कैपेसिटी होती है वो भी सब में नहीं होती. सो दीज स्पेशली दीज कोर्सेज, ये आपके अंदर एक अलग सा स्टैमिना जो भर देता है ना, दैट हेल्प्स यू फॉर लाइफ इज व्हाट आई फील. नहीं लगता?
I think you're completely right when you said that it gives you discipline, it gives you endurance, and you get all charged up to take up those professional journeys and those professional challenges that are going to come in your journey. I think it's always said that life is beautiful, and it is how you make it beautiful.
Yes,
so I think through that journey, you are on that path to make it beautiful.
Rachit, just to let all our audience know, since abhi bache join karte ja rahe hain, I would request you for a brief introduction, how your journey has been, and a little bit about your accomplishments. Kyunki more or less, I think yahan sabhi aapko jante hain. Most of these children, they know you as a company secretary. They know you as part of Haldiram Group. They know you how you have been assisting here, AV sir, at Law Magnet, and have been helping so many students. So just I would like you to give a brief about yourself, about your.
Sure. So I'll take you through my professional journey in like quick few minutes. It's been over a decade that I have been associated with Amit Vohra sir. I joined him. I have known him for like over a decade. I was one of his first student when he started teaching CS. So I still remember the days when I used to come to him and he used to teach me. Starting from there, once I qualified, it was 8 to 10 years back, I qualified as a CS, and over since then I have been helping him out with various laws, compliances, books that he has been authoring, and for years now I am a co-author with him for various books that we get with the Bharat Publications. And earlier we were with LexisNexis, and now we are with Bharat Publications. So a lot of book that we co-author with Bharat Publication over for students of CA and CS. This is one side of me. And a second part, I am currently working with Haldiram Group as the group company secretary. And I have a team which is working with me. It's been close to 4 years that I'm with Haldiram Group. A lot of things happening, a lot of things that we look after. Prior to joining Haldiram Group, I was with a manufacturing company, which is called Sudhir Power. So I was with them close to 5 years. And prior to that, I was with a practicing firm that I was working with. So few changes. I have my journey in practicing firm. I had my journey in a manufacturing company, and now I'm with an FMCG sector for good 4 years. Right. The journey has been altogether extremely beautiful for me. A lot of learnings happening. I always say that keep learning and keep growing is the aim that we should always do.
Absolutely.
And this is my professional part. Apart from that, I'm also closely associated with an organization called Unacademy, where we work toward eradicating hunger and food wastage globally. So I am leading. I lead their lead India team for them. I'm the India rep for them. So
lovely.
A lot of things happening for me. Like I'm a co-author for various books. I work as a complete full-time company secretary for Haldiram Group. I'm working with Robin Hood Army and my free time. And then, yes, I'm also teaching at Unacademy, the students for CS Professional. I'm teaching them the secretarial audit part right now. So I think this is all about my journey. And
all the children have to see the spectrum, how wide and beautiful this is. So guys, you know what? I'm not sure how many of you have observed when Rachit said, in my free time, you know, that is the balance. Okay, when somebody as bright and busy like him, when he says I teach at Unacademy, when he says that, okay, I've co-authored a few books, imagine the kind of concentration that would be required for such works, such activities. फिर जब वो बोले कि मैं अपने free time पे ये भी करता हूँ, so how important that balance is going to be, all of us have to understand. क्योंकि आजकल का जो सबसे बड़ा problem है ना रचित, वो है peer pressure and the pressure of studies, screen time. So सबसे बड़ी जो problem है, I'm going to come there and discuss it with you, क्योंकि students को एक जो है एक easy flow भी मिलना चाहिए. Students must see the brighter side of things कि इतनी मेहनत करने के बाद अगर हमको थोड़ा सा ease down करना हो, अगर हमें अपने आप को cool down करना हो, and how we should be able to absorb pressure, etc. That also is an important part of this discussion. उससे पहले मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि CS as a profession, if you have to say talk about 3 to 4 unique elements कि भाई ऐसे देखो मैं ये बात करूंगी तो वो शायद वो ठीक ना भी लगे, हो सकता है उसमें उतनी authenticity और accuracy ना हो, ठीक है? So you as a member, you being in profession, if I have to ask you to pick up 3 to 4 unique points that only pertain to a CS, that are only relevant from a CS perspective, then what would be those?
I think from a unique elements or points from a CS perspective, one, as you mentioned a few minutes back, CS is a designation. being a KMP, being a key managerial personnel in a company, being sharing the seat with the board members of a company. That is one thing that should give you a, it should give you a kick in from inside that, okay, the kind of position that we're going to have in organizations, the kind of work that we're going to do is completely different from what probably we have been taught about or what we can think about. You're going to have that complete external journey.
Right.
I think that will be one part. Second, there is no dearth of work. So when I say there's no dearth of work, a lot of time we feel that, okay, क्या करना है जाके company में? See, this work for CS is not only to make minutes and to make a notice of board meetings or to file the form. It depends on you that, okay, what you need to do. I always say there's no dearth of work when you become a company secretary or when you become a professional. It is you who need to choose and who need to pick up that, okay, this is also falls under my kitty. This is what I need to do. For example, there are thousands of laws, I would say, which are there in our country, and we probably are not aware about it. Let's say a lot of people might not know that there is a law on plastic waste management.
Achha.
So what happens is, I'll just take a minute. So let's say an organization, let's say Coke. So we all drink Coke, right? And what we do, we take a Coke bottle and throw it in a dustbin. That's how it goes. So we think that, okay, Coke has taken the cost from us for a bottle and we throw it in a dustbin, and that will probably be not aware that where will it go. But as per law, this company, Coke, is bound to collect those bottles from the market and then get them recycled. Right. So it is the responsibility for Coke. So where does it come from? It comes from law. So there is no dearth of work. It is about how much you study, how much in depth and detail you go to. Then I think a new thing that happens in our country, or probably we all would have heard, is mergers and acquisitions. We all have seen in past few years mergers and acquisitions happening. Let's say the big names called Adani, Reliance, Tata, these all so on forth. They acquire one business and then they become big. For example, Adani recently have acquired few cement companies. So there's all news. I think a company secretary plays a major role in that.
Absolutely.
Because you know that, okay, merger happens. Merger is happening under which law? It happens under Companies Act.
And a lot of compliance is required. Absolutely. When there is an acquisition, there is a compliance, or आपको compliance करना है.
So वो सिर्फ board meetings और minutes notices तक limited नहीं है काम. So you have to think that work will come, work will happen. It's just that you need to give time to something. Everything will not happen in 1 minute now.
नहीं, ये बिल्कुल सही बात है. Rachit, just to share with you, भाई, we have a firm. I'm a partner director of a CA firm as well. मतलब भाई, this is teaching and interacting with students is, again, it has been an important and one part of my spectrum as well. अब यहाँ पर पता है होता क्या है? अगर मैं बात करूं कि फर्म में अगर हमें सेक्रेटरियल प्रैक्टिस और हमें टैक्स कंप्लायंस की बात करनी है, so the trust placed is much more on the company secretaries that those we have in the firm. तो ये इसका रीजन है. मतलब जैसे बात आती है कि भाई काम का सेग्रीगेशन कैसे होता है, इसको हम कैसे डिस्टिंग्विश करते हैं, हम कैसे इसको डेलीगेट करते हैं. So when it comes about law, when it comes about compliance, and when it comes about the plethora, the kind of the myriad of laws that exist, and a person who we expect would know all of that is a company secretary. वो अगर मैं expect करना है, वो trust placed is much more on those resources जो हमारे secretarial practice section में है कि भाई ये है और यहाँ गलती नहीं होनी है.
Right. And just to add to what you just said, there's one more element I would add. What a CS does. A balance sheet is signed by whom? It's signed by the auditors of the company. It's signed by the directors of the company. And it is also signed by the company secretary of the company. So why company secretary? You're not an expert in those figures. Yes, you're not expert in those figures. But if we all know, balance sheet is prepared as per schedules under Companies Act. And we as a company secretary are aware about what is written in that schedule, how a balance sheet has to be framed. But yes, the choice is ours if we want to read through that schedule or not. If we want to read through, if we want to
Agreed.
just sign a piece of paper as a balance sheet, or we want to go through it in depth that, okay, what is written in that balance sheet before I sign it, I should know that.
Yes. Yes,
But
that is how much you want to explore. बिल्कुल, ये तो एक person to person depend करता है भाई, how much you want to keep yourself at, what is the level you want to look yourself at. So that is certainly a person's prerogative, and it is always an individual choice. Basically मुझे हमेशा लगता है लोग जब career growth की बात करते हैं, मेरे पास बहुत सारे आते हैं company secretaries, कई सारे शिकायत लेकर के भी आते हैं कि मैम जैसा सुना था वैसी ग्रोथ बहुत होते हैं. And this is for every profession. It is not only for CS. I'm talking about for like all of these three better known professions and others also. CS और CA में तो क्या है, ये ज्यादा यहाँ पर known professions हैं इंडिया में, especially when we talk about this finance and secretarial practice and all this as a domain. अदरवाइज ऑल्सो अब, लेकिन ये तो फैक्ट है कि ये जो ग्रोथ होती है ना, ये आपका एप्टीट्यूड और आपका स्किल सेट डिजाइन करता है, ये वो डिफाइन करता है, ये कोई और डिफाइन नहीं करता कि आपका क्वालिफिकेशन, दैट पीस ऑफ डिग्री, पीस ऑफ पेपर डजंट डिफाइन इट फॉर यू. What defines it for you and what is going to set that graph up for your growth is your aptitude, your interest to explore, to learn, to polish yourself. और इसका एक जीता जागता एग्जांपल ये हमारे सामने बैठे हैं रचित.
It's so nice of you for giving all these words to me. But yeah, I think what you mentioned is extremely right, that it depends on us that how much we want to explore. And a lot of students also come to me that, okay sir, हमें practice में जाना चाहिए, employment में जाना चाहिए, और या कुछ और करना चाहिए. I think the choices both the fields are completely extremely good. I think practice is not less than employment and employment is not less than practice. They are at par. You are a member of this honorable institute, ICSI. So I think you have that same membership, you have the same qualification, you have the same level of experience. It is how you build up your experience then. Once you get your membership, now the ball is in your court. How you want to use that membership is in your hands.
अरे स्ट्रगल हर जगह होता है, मेहनत हर जगह. मतलब प्रॉब्लम क्या है बाहर, हाउ CS, DMAs are perceived, they're perceived as cash cows, कि एक बार डिग्री हाथ पे आया तो कहीं से बारिश होने लगेगी पैसों की. भाई, that is one part. That is how you perceived outside. How? Because you have seen those professionals who have already attained a certain level in their journeys, in their in the profession that they are part of. तो ये वो ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, उन्होंने अपनी डिसाइड की है. When you're looking at Rachit today, he's already spent 10 years. When you look at AV sir today, he's already spent some 18, 19, 20 years. When you look at me today, I've already spent 20, 21, 22 years in the profession. So वो हम अपना जो हमें देना था, जो हार्ड वर्क स्ट्रगल का जो पीरियड था, वो हम दे चुके हैं. एंड लर्निंग स्टिल गोज ऑन. लर्निंग जो है वो लाइफ लॉन्ग, हमको कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग होती है ना. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि भाई इसके इस स्टेप पे रुक जाएगी, कभी नहीं रुकेगी. हमारे काम ही ऐसा है हमारा.
I think the main part what you just said, that learning continues. I want students to understand one thing, that learning is not going to stop. Once you have completed your CSEET, you complete your EXE, you complete your professional, you become a member of ICSI, you become a lawyer, you become a chartered accountant, whatever you become. But learning should not stop, and learning will never stop. Even I think I as an individual, I keep learning every day. And it's not that only my teachers, from those who have learned, and only my elders can teach me. It's also about the younger ones can teach us.
Oh, absolutely, Rachit. To be very honest, these little children who join us at CSEET level also teach us every day. At least talking about me, I learn from them every day. They teach me patience. They teach me new, casual lingo जो use करते हैं. They teach me a lot of in things that are trending. So बहुत कुछ ऐसा है जो हमें सीखने को मिलता है. I think आपस में this is mutual. Open रहना चाहिए.
I think cross learning हमेशा होती है. If I am there to teach you, I am ready to learn from you also. And I always tell students that, okay, feel free to come out to me, that, okay, even if you think that, okay, I'm wrong at somewhere, feel free to walk out to me and tell me, okay, sir, this is what we think, this is what you said. Where's the gap? Let's kill the gap. No?
Let's discuss and let's interact and let's talk it out. Absolutely.
Communication is
communication is the key. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, before we kind of, every good thing has to come to an end. And now, as much I'm enjoying this session, we have to close this. So before we do that, मेरे को एक अच्छी चीज जो आपसे चाहिए वो ये है, स्टूडेंट्स को एक गाइडेंस की भाई इस स्ट्रेस भरे माहौल में जब इतनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, एग्जाम्स का प्रेशर है, अटेम्प्ट्स का प्रेशर है, and there is so much of demand placed from the institute, from the surroundings, from parents and from everything that is around us, including peer pressure. तो हम अपना cool, अपना काम और अपना concentration हमें कैसे maintain करना चाहिए? If as a senior, I have to request you for 3-4 tips. What would be the most important pointers from your side?
I think to maintain that concentration level, we always, I think that have internal feeling that used to happen with me that you studied for 2 hours and then कहते हैं ना अंदर से मन बोलता है नहीं अब नहीं और नहीं पढ़ना.
Right.
So if that inner feeling, that inner voice is forcing you not to study, then you need to force it back. अच्छा थोड़ा सा और. So you need to probably negotiate with your inner self that okay, अच्छा another 1 hour and then we'll stop. Another 1 hour and then we'll stop, and that thing continues because we are fighting with our inner self. See, I think peer pressure कुछ नहीं है. I think forget about peer pressure because if we go into that कि peer pressure है, उसने इतना करा, मैंने इतना करा, वो 4 घंटे पढ़ता है, मैं 3 पढ़ता हूँ, that is not going to take you anywhere. Probably the other person who is going to learn if one chapter in 4 hours, you can do it in 2 hours.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely.
So forget about peer pressure is one thing. Forget about peer pressure and concentrate on yourself. Your fight is with your inner self. You're not going to fight with X person. You're not going to fight with Y person. You're not going to fight with Z person. It is you who are going to fight with yourself at any level of your journey, at any level of your professional journey. And then when your mind at one point, I think the other thing would be when your mind at one point stop taking the input, it stops taking अच्छा अब नहीं जा रहा है अंदर कुछ, then do what you like to do. For example, what I mentioned few minutes back, okay, I do this in my free time. You think that okay, this will recharge you. For example, for me, I like to serve the society. I like to serve citizens. I like to do some volunteer work. So I started that organization, going to that organization, Robin Hood Army, where we serve people. You'd like to do volunteering. You'd like to read a book. You like to watch a movie. You like to watch your football session. You like to listen to music. Whatever you like, I think give yourself that time so that once you start back, you are all charged up. One thing that I used to do during exams or when I used to stuck up in studies, कि अब नहीं हो रहा है, I used to probably go out for a walk.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. थोड़ा सा walking, थोड़ा सा hobby pursue करना. So see, this is very simple. Get yourself refueled and recharged with something that you enjoy doing the most. मेरे लिए writing, interacting with students, that charges me immensely. थोड़ी देर के लिए कोई अच्छी सी book पढ़ना जो मुझे पसंद है, that recharges me. सबसे important जो है ना, Rachit, you will definitely agree on that part. वो है virus वाला nap. Nothing can recharge you better than a 10-minute or 12 minutes power nap. Especially हमारे बच्चों के लिए जरूरी है, क्योंकि हम लोग इतना ज्यादा जो फोकस वर्क करते हैं ना, उसके बाद दिमाग को आपके रेस्ट चाहिए होता है. हर 3 घंटे में 10 मिनट का नैप लेकर देखो, जिंदगी बदल जाएगी. मैं सीरियसली बोल रही हूँ.
I am saying कि उसके बाद रात को नींद नहीं आएगी, because those naps which you just mentioned are so powerful. Yes, and it's like you have slept for hours and now probably you're all fresh and all charged up to do anything. अब तो कुछ भी करा लो हमसे. So true. I 100% agree with what you just mentioned.
Wonderful, guys. Social media influences रखिए कम, थोड़ा अपने आप को भी मौका दीजिए खुद से खुद को प्रूव करने का और खुद से खुद को मिलवाने का, और ऐसे सेशंस लेकर के मैं बार-बार आती रहूंगी. Rachit, thank you so much for joining in here, for spending this time of yours with students. It was lovely interacting with you.
It's always a pleasure to share the screen time with you, ma'am. and I'm always available for such time and for the guidance to students, whatever it is at any point of time.
Thank you so much, Rachit. God bless you and all the best for your journey ahead. And we would love to have you again. हम जरूर दोबारा मिलेंगे because students को बहुत guidance की जरूरत आगे आगे पढ़ने वाली है.
For sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.